Yo, it's time for coins. Hopefully, we'll actually move on to Plum and the Who next week. There's no reason why we won't just yet. I mean, so we can finally commemorate the best drummer of all time and Johnny Entwistle. And, the other members. Yeah. Sorry, I prefer Keith Moon over Bono. Because they had a shorter life, and to do all that is just incredible. But obviously, Bono's brilliant. But enough of that crap, because we've got a Star Wars token collection. Mandalorian from the Coin Club. Here's the first one. That's good. Up's going to be the same, but we've got this first with Grogan. I've got a Grogu plush, so he'll be introduced to Super Mario movies. Then we've got this guy, who's very nice beard. And then you've got this guy, who looks like Tom Allen from Wish. Okay, he's still poggers. Then we've got this guy, who looks a bit like Cat from Red Dwarf. I don't know why I'm making that comparison. But he does. Ugh. A Mythrol. That looks like a weird Jabba the Hutt or Jar Jar Binks or whatever. And then there's them all together. So there you are. It's quite short, but I don't really know anything about The Mandalorian. But yeah, hopefully next episode will be The Who. New coin's been released this week, but we've already looked at it back in Series 2. So this is the most likely it's ever been. But yeah, we've still got ages of the series left. This probably won't be going on hiatus during the filming of Super Mario the movie. It might not even need to if we film it really quickly. But yeah. I can't really say much, but they're really nice designs. I did sort of insult all of them, so if you're Mandalorian fans, I'm sorry for offending you. But I don't know what else to say really, because as I say, I know nothing about The Mandalorian. So yeah. Basically, that's it, I guess. Thanks for watching, and sorry for the relatively bog standard. Do you know what? Screw what I just said. We're gonna do 2 and 1. There we are.
Make every day actually better for your team with laptop.
So The Who. So finally we can do this one. Get 2 and 1. There's the band. Oh my god, £72,295 for a coin, wow. His is gold proof and a kilo, like, but 72 grand, wow. And it's not available. Wow, 12 people. 12 freaking filthy rich people, damn. Or maybe they just all won like 125 grand on Millionaire. I've wasted most of it. Right. It's approved by The Who. Well, what's left of it, of course. Rest in peace, Keith Moon and Johnny Entwistle. It's their first appearance on a UK coin, one of the most influential bands in music history. Designed to approved by the band, and it's considered a great gift for the music. And then, of course, you've got your specifications, The only thing that's interesting is the reverse designer, Henry Gray. Let's review his design, shall we? It's a guitar with Britain on it. Obviously, that logo does contain the red, white, and blue with the flag, but obviously it symbols the RAF more. It's a nice logo, and obviously it's in the shape of a guitar. How lovely. Although they should probably be commemorating the drums for a band like this, considering Keith Moon is widely considered one of the best drummers of all time. He was only 32 when he died. But the legacy he has, wow. But yeah, there's that. I quite like it. Anyways, the obverse, the same as always. And lish. Cool. Anyways, The Who began with 3 schoolboys and a shared love of music, including jazz, skiffle, rock, and rhythm and blues. Through incarnations like the Confederates, the Detours, and the High Numbers, John Entwistle, rest in peace, Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, and later Keith Moon, R.I.P., would go on to explode the conventional structures of music as The Who. Since 1964, they've challenged pop conventions and redefined what was possible on stage, in the recording studio, and on vinyl. The genre-busting band was show-stopping, furious and explosive, and seemingly chaotic, as this was music at its best. Although other musicians played with the band over time, Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey still formed the band's backbone, more than 50 years into its creation, and 2 people being dead. I can't read the My Generation bit. But yeah, let's begin. The Who Sellouts. They released their 3rd album in 1967, The Who Sellouts. It only made number 13 in the UK chart, however, and barely registered in the United States. In 1968, the single Dogs was The Who's first failed release, but their reputation as a live band was their saviour. Known for being one of the loudest bands in the world, The Who's live performances became their hallmark. The Who were the kings of the emerging festival scene, playing Woodstock and the first Isle of Wight festival. The Live at Leeds album, released in 1970, cemented the band's reputation as one of the best live rock acts in the world. Performed at Live Aid, Live 8, and in the London 2012 Olympic Games closing ceremony, and thrilled the crowds with the headline slot at Glastonbury in 2007 and 2015. It's hard. The Who's album, Quadrophenia, was released in 1973 and was followed by 1979 by the groundbreaking film of the same name, starring Phil Daniels, Toya Williams, and Sting. The Who by Numbers came out in 1975, followed by Who Are You in 1978, and tragically, the death of Keith Moon. In 1981, Face Dancers was the first album released without him, and the next year the band released It's Hard, their final studio album for 24 years. Perhaps it's the title that sums up the sometimes turbulent world of The Who off stage. As early as 1965, Roger Daltrey was briefly fired from the band for his occasionally overbearing attitude. Pete suffered mental health issues which led him to withdraw, and Keith's addictions had a tragic impact and killed him. As ever, the show went on, and in 1971, the album Who's Next became The Who's only album to reach number 1 in the UK. I Can See for Miles. Today, The Who are considered as by many the greatest rock and roll band in the world. Their 1994 30 Years of Maximum R&B box set was described by Q Magazine as the best box set ever assembled by any artist. Endless Wire was released in 2006, their first material since 1982, and in 2019, their 12th and latest studio album, Who, received acclaim worldwide. It's clear that The Who is set to be legends of rock and roll for many years to come. Henry Gray is an experienced designer and designed this. He's an artist who has worked on a number of projects for the Royal Mint, including the £5 coin that celebrated 150 years of the British Red Cross in 2020. The design had to convey the key elements of The Who at a glance, and incorporated the band's most frequently used icons, the Union flag and their mod logo, and focused on Pinball Wizard, one of the most recognisable songs. I used a stylish Rickenbacker guitar Their first guitar, Pete Townsend destroyed on stage. Alright. That's a pinball table. It should have been smashed through a speaker stack, which is why it looks like a ping pong table. It's quite clever, and it's a nice design. I'll give you an 8 out of 10. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We finally got the Who coin done. That's out of the way. Now, it's time for the rest of the series. See you next week. Take care.
That's a spice! You meet the ball. Ooh, it sets up Lucky Penny.